making the point, of course, for the cloud side of things. I don't know if you know any kind of industry figures on this. What's the kind of the trend and the demographics of companies moving into using solutions like Druva or cloud backup storage?
Well, so obviously, I went to Druva 5 years ago, and it is my first vendor, by the way. I've been in the industry this long, and this is my first vendor. But once you do that, your your vision becomes a bit focused, right?
Yeah.
But what I have seen is that um, I have seen when I first started, we were kind of there's a famous phrase from Wayne Gretzky about skating where the puck is going. Have you heard that
hmm
phrase? Yeah.
There's some other ones, but yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's what I felt. We were like the only one over there. We were the only one doing backups the way we were.
Right.
Now everyone is doing backups the way we are, right?
So it's
So
setting the trend.
all of our main competitors have moved into doing backup as a service, copying backups into the cloud. If they're not doing backup as a service, they're copying backups into some type of cloud. Because what I'm saying is 100% true that
hmm
the best and easiest way to get at least one copy of your data
hmm
offsite and completely impervious to ransomware is to have it in the cloud. In our case, we're doing it from the very start, right? So we're not we're doing it as a service,
hmm
right? So and we think, and I think I can defend this, even though obviously I'm defending it for you know the fact that I work for Druva,
Sure.
but the easiest way to secure everything is to ignore everything I just said and to use a service that does all of that for you, right? To
Yeah.
not and to not
Yeah.
have an
Sure.
on-premises to not have an on-premises server that's attackable,
hmm
right? To do we do what's called source side deduplication, which means it eliminates the data, the duplicates at the beginning of the backup process,
I see.
which is what makes it feasible to back up large amounts of data over the internet, right?
Okay.
And
Right.
then and then the only thing you have to discuss is, well, how are you going to then bring that data back? And
Right.
we have answers for that, right? The best
Yeah.
of which is actually to restore in the cloud if you're doing a disaster recovery, right?
I think I heard you talking about that point on a previous one, the beer and bite. So you're almost restoring the environment before the attack even happens. So
Yeah,
pretty
I
much
talk it
instant,
about it. I talk about it as like time travel, right? The only way
ongoing.
the fastest way is to restore the data before you need it, and then it's ready. That again, that's the beauty of the cloud, right?
hmm
You can restore the data, have the data and the images, not just the data, but the images of the server ready to go, and then that's all you're paying for is the storage aspect of it. And
Right.
then when you do it, when you either test or declare a disaster, you just push a button and all that stuff comes to life. And now you start paying for the compute.
Sure.
That's the beauty of the cloud. I think. In fact, for many years, I don't know, for a long time, I've heard people talking about DR as the killer app for the cloud, right?
hmm
And I think this is what it's talking about, right? Is that you can. I don't know any cheaper way to have that amount of compute ready to go, the restore already done, and then all you have to do is turn it on. I don't know any way of doing that without using the cloud, right? I mean,
Yeah. No. I
you
mean,
can. It's just going to
it makes
cost a lot
sense.
more, right?
It makes sense, and I feel like I'm almost like one of Druva's prospects now. Being told the benefits of going cloud, which yeah, I guess 15 years ago, when the company started, I can imagine there was a ton of skepticism saying, why would we want to store our most sensitive data in the cloud?
Right,
What's to say you're not going to lose it?
right.
Which, from what I understand, you hold the data, not um, nobody else, right? It's kind of only accessible to you
Well,
in that
it's
cloud
actually only accessible to the customer, right?
customer,
So
right?
it
Sorry,
is
go on.
we're in
Yeah,
we're in I don't know who you was in that thing,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, but the
Makes
pronouns,
sense. Yeah.
but basically we run our data, we run our tech in AWS,
Hmm.
and so it means that your deduplicated stored result will be inside S3. It will be
Hmm.
encrypted. It will actually be, if the way deduplication works is that each image is split up into little tiny segments,
Hmm.
right? And those each one of those segments is an object in S3, and so and they're encrypted, right? So they're encrypted and then stored as an object. And the map to put all those objects back together is in a completely different part of
Hmm.
Amazon, and it's done in such a way so that no one other than the customer, so that includes Druva, so no one other than the customer, they hold the keys, so they can do a restore or do anything with it, right? So even if
Hmm.
a bad actor was able to somehow infiltrate AWS and infiltrate S3, what they would have is a pile of nonsense that they wouldn't be able to do anything with.